that I've conducted with Joseph Sander, who's a PhD student at Stony Brook University, we've been studying people's willingness to share fake or true headlines. We've given people examples, sort of look like Facebook headlines in a research study, and we've asked them, okay, how willing would you be to share this kind of information? And all of the headlines were negative about the other side. Right? So an example might be that one example was that, and this was given to Republicans, President Biden said, omitted God from his National Prayer Day proclamation, which was untrue. It was fake. Or we gave to Democrats a statement, Trump saying, I've done more for Christianity than Jesus. Again, this was a fake statement, but something that circulated widely on social media, both of them. What we found overwhelmingly is that if you're a strong partisan, if you're a strong Democrat, and I gave you some negative story about Republicans, you wanted to share it, independently of whether it was true or not. Often people knew it wasn't true. It didn't matter. They simply want to show that they're defending their political party. And by spreading that information, they're showing to their other fellow partisans, hey, look at me, I'm a great partisan. I'm sharing this crazy information about the other side. When we asked them, why are you doing this? When they said, I know it's not true, we'd say to them, you know it's not true, but you're still willing to share it? And they said, oh yeah, it's funny. It's hilarious. And what I read into that is that it's a form of identity behavior, that what I'm trying to do is show other people in my social circle who also share my political views that we're having a good time together, we're making fun of the other side, even if it's not true. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it's not true. It's just entertaining, and that we're all having a good laugh together, and that we're all reinforcing our sense that we're strong identifiers of this political party. So it's very human. It's very human. It's happening right now. It's a bit sad, but telling people to only share accurate information won't change anything because they know it's not accurate, and it's not the reason they're sharing it. They're sharing that for identity-related reasons. So let me turn to a very important topic. As we're discussing this, we're morphing into a discussion of what we call polarization. And that's when we come to increasingly hate our political opponents. We've used a term that's commonly used, which is affective polarization. It means that I really dislike them. I like my side, I really dislike the other side. So this is when our in-group loyalties are transformed into true animosity against the other political opponents. And so what we can see, typically this is asked of people, they're asked again, tell me your feelings. How do you feel about your party? How do you feel about the other party? Increasingly, if you're a Democrat, you say, well, my party's great. I might rate it at 70 or 80, but I put the other side at 20. In other words, I really don't like them. If 0 is hating them, 20 isn't much better. And this is what we've seen grow in US politics over the last several decades. It really is very dramatic. And it seems to be related to things like saying, I don't want my son or daughter to marry someone from this other political side. I really don't like them. So it's really having some surprising consequences in US politics. And what Lily Mason, we mentioned before on social sorting, when our identities become sorted into the parties, would say is that this is a function of our social sorting. That as we've sorted our ethnic, racial, religious, regional groups into political parties, it's bred this animosity towards those on the other side who come from different ethnicities and races. They adhere to different religions. It's really, I think, become a very marked phenomena in American society. And it's also happening elsewhere. I should add that this polarization is not unique to the United States. We're also seeing this happen in Western Europe and in other places, and it's getting worse over time. So that's a very negative note to make. Let me add that there is ongoing and quite a lot of research in how on earth can we reduce this kind of animosity, because if we hate the other side, it's not just us, it's also our political leaders, and they're failing to cooperate with each other. They don't need to. People, in fact, their supporters don't want them to.